Well, good morning to everyone. I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. Today I'm gonna get some tea going. Doug and I love to have our chocolate tea every morning, and we're gonna get Maggie fed. Are you ready to eat, Maggie? Today on the menu for Maggie we have gizzards and hearts, some kelp, some Thorvin kelp, and a little garlic for her. Are you ready to eat? Come on over. Sit. Sit. Okay. Well, about a little over 8 weeks ago, we got some guinea keets. And a lot of you know guineas are my absolute favorite. I love them more than anything. And I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with guineas, but I'm gonna show you there's a way that you can really raise them successfully. So when you're raising guinea keets, the first 2 weeks are so crucial. You do not want them to get too cold. So it was getting in the 60s here, so I was concerned. So I went ahead and took them over to my neighbor's house, and she put them under the heat lamp for the first 2 weeks. But we've raised plenty of chickens and turkeys and ducks without a heat lamp. The guineas are a little bit more sensitive. So when I got my guineas back after the 2 weeks, I had 2 large dog crates, and I put them in there inside of the chicken coop, because you want to kind of get their GPS honed in, knowing that this is going to be their home. And then it's good to keep guineas in an area where you have other young birds. And they were also in here. I had a couple other full-grown guineas. So all the chickens, the guineas, everyone's kind of hanging around. The ducks even come in there during the day. And so they kind of get to know everyone, so they know this is going to be their forever home. And now remember, you don't want to let them out of the cage for the whole 8 weeks. I had their food and water in there. I'd go in there and visit with them, but they were in the cage just to know that this is where they're going to be. So they didn't have free range in the chicken coop. They were in the dog crate the whole time. So last night we took them out of the dog crates, and you're going to witness their maiden voyage. So they're getting ready to come out for their very first time. You guys ready? Let's see. Wonderful. I just love these guys. And do you hear that little sound, that 2-syllable sound? You actually hear it a couple. The boys are going chee 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 chee, 1 syllable. The girls are going buckwheat buckwheat. That's 2 syllables. That's how you know the difference if they're male or female. Oh, I love them. They're my favorite. So now let's talk about the chicken coop remodel. Well, my chicken coop was really bothering me. I couldn't stand going into it. There wasn't a lot of room in it. I didn't like the way it looked. I just was never really happy with it. So it was really a thing between Doug and I. We would talk about it. And finally, on the hottest day of the year, it was 100 degrees, regular temperature. We've had excessive heat warnings here. Doug says, let's do it. So we went ahead and we did it. And as you can see here, I have this old nesting box. It was more a commercial one. It was way too big for our coop. I never liked it. They would like get on top of it and they would, you know, poop on it. I mean, I just didn't like it. And just the way the setup of the whole thing was, I wasn't happy with it. And we were sweating to death. It was really, really bad, but we got the job done and I'm so happy with it. I love it and I can't wait to show you guys. So this is a remodel that did not cost hardly anything to do. We had tons of plywood laying around and 2x4s because we are building a building right over here. So it was great that I had all these little extra things. I had some extra cans of spray paint that I had. So that's what I used to do this. And with Doug's guidance and his help, he really put it together and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Because you know what? Every day I'm in here checking the chickens, doing this, and it's nice to go into a place that makes you feel good and happy. So that's kind of what this turned out to be. And you know, especially now with these hot days, you guys make sure you're checking after your chickens and your animals, make sure they have plenty of water, and it turned out good. So you ready to see it? Are you ready for the cool chicken coop remodel tour? Over here, I had the big bulky nesting boxes, which took way too much room. So that was my thing I needed, my big thing that I wanted to have a solution for. So I went ahead and got these milk crates. And you could use any kind of milk crates, and Doug just cut them out here. And I wanted the color. I think the color pops. It makes me feel happy every day I come in here and I open the chicken coop door. It makes my chickens happy. They lay happy eggs. So this was definitely a plus for me. And it was so funny. The second Doug was putting those boxes up there, because we were doing it early in the morning, they were jumping in there already starting to lay their eggs. And we decided to put a couple here in the corner because it is darker and they like to, you know, have a little darkness and kind of hide away. So these two nesting boxes have been very popular too, but I'm really happy. Normally people have way too many nesting boxes. They only pick a few. That other one had 10, so I went ahead, we put 6 in here, but I already can tell there's probably one of them they don't like as much, but they're using all of them, so I'm very happy with the crate situation. We also have a hanging feeder in here. We had started with 2 hanging feeders, but I think it took up too much room, and I really, for the chickens that I have, you know, 30 chickens or so, this was fine for them. It doesn't make a mess. I really like how this is, and if we need to come in here and do any work or clean, I can just pick it up, hang it up, put it right here, and I really like this hanging feeder. Now if you look over here in the corner, I got some 2x4s and I just kind of put them in there, and I have some younger chickens that are transitioning, and there's some chickens that may not want to be on my main roost, so I kind of gave some options because I'm going to be adding a few more younger chickens in here. So they just love it. They come in here, even some of my newer crested Polish ones, they like this corner, so they're happy. That worked out good. And we just got a handrail and we cut it and we put it up high because for the guineas, because they like to roost up high. Painted some, you know, little 2x4s, and he cut them for me. And we put them on both sides, one over here and one over on this side. And it's perfect because it simulates kind of like a tree branch. So I want to address a major problem that I had in the chicken coop was my watering. Now, we have tried the kinds that hang with the nipples, the kind, just all the different kind of waters. We've tried all of them that they make. And I was never happy, but then I really liked the kind where you just have a bowl and you put it down on the ground. But they would scratch in it, they would poop in it, they would get the straw from the coop in it, and it was just really hard to keep it clean. So we had put them, you know, up on a pallet. Pallets are really big and bulky. Sometimes they break, you trip on them. So Doug kind of rigged up this, and he came up with the best idea. He was such a help today. Wait until you see the other things that he did, but this is just great. He just put some plywood and some 2x6s in here, and it made this wonderful box that they can jump up on. It keeps the straw away from it. They can jump on top of it, depending how big the bird is, down here or here, and I'm very happy. And of course, you have the peanut gallery here because we're in the chicken coop. I guess we're in her way. She wants to lay an egg. But I wanted to talk about the plywood, where the plywood, besides it looking good, it really is gonna solve another problem that we're having because we are in a metal building. So we were noticing from when they're cooking, because it's so, the nitrogen and all that, it was causing rust at the bottom of our building. So by putting it here, it kind of added a barrier. And so we did it all around where the chickens would hang out, and definitely I think that's going to solve that problem, so we won't have rusting in the building. Now that we have that settled, those hens sure take a long time to figure out where they want to lay. That crazy chicken. All right, I want you guys to look over here. This is like my favorite part of the coop. Doug came up with this idea. I was just gonna paint it yellow up here, and then he went and got some spray paint that he was using in our learning center that he's building, and he came up with this and he made a sun, and it just put the whole thing together. I love it. It turned out great. And wherever the sun is here, we have our movable roost. And this is great. It's just a bunch of 2x4s that Doug came up with. And I love it because it lifts up so that you can clean underneath it. And you just hook it up at the top, just like this. And then you can just bring it back down. Really, really easy, because otherwise it would be really a pain to get underneath here and clean up. So this was a really good idea that Doug came up with. And I bet you're wondering about these things hanging up here with the pink designs on it. These are, it came in a roll, you know, like those fly strips that you get that you can pull down and they hang. We use those, but I would always get my hair stuck in them, and it was just kind of a pain in here because you're in and out all the time. So these work great. You unroll them, and then we put thumbtacks and we just put them on there, and it comes in a big roll. So whenever that gets old, I can take it down and then put a new one on there. Because we tried so many different types of fly things. I even tried one of those traps that smells kind of icky, and one time I bumped into it and all that stuff got in my hair, and I washed my hair 100 times and the smell was still in it. I think it took a month for it to get out of my hair. So I really like these sticky fly strips. They work really well, and so far so good. Well, I hope you enjoyed my tour of the remodel chicken coop, and you guys got to come back tomorrow to see if those guineas make it back in tonight. You guys have an awesome day, and check out the Homesteading Live Conference August 4th and 5th. There's only just like a couple more tickets left, so if you haven't gotten them, you better get them now. Other than that, Maggie and I have some stuff to do. Ready, Maggie? We got lots of chores to do inside. You ready to help? All right, come on. Oh my gosh, I was watching Doug edit the video and I forgot to do the door. So I think little Miss Homemaker and I have a little helper today. We're gonna spray paint the door with what we have left over, and then why don't you guys leave a comment below if you think a colorful chicken coop makes happy chickens.
What do you think?
Do colorful coops make happy eggs? Leave a comment below.